We have one more speaker before lunch, and that's our very own Christine Coronado. I don't think an introduction is needed, Christine. You have just been a pillar of support in our community, and we are so grateful for Jordan's grab and go. So, Christine.
Thank you, Marsh. Can everybody hear me okay? So the first thing I'm going to do, I'll tell you that I was going to have a PowerPoint, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because a lot of what Penny has spoken about is what would have been on the PowerPoint. So Marsh said I'm Christine Coronado. So I'm an attorney here in Dyer County. I've lived in Dyer County since 2006. We moved here from Hawaii. We started Jordan's Grab and Go. This is our 5th year. We've been it's our 6th year. We've been in business for 5 full years. So if you don't know about Jordan's Grab and Go, I'm going to do this a little bit different. So as a special needs parent, it's just an awesome responsibility. So I do wear a lot of different hats, but the most important hat I wear is that I'm Jordan's mom. And so Jordan's 26 years old. Jordan has autism and was completely nonverbal until she was 5 years old. She had one word at 5 years old. She learned it, and that word was no. And so, with autism especially, autism is a spectrum disability, which means you've got folks that are going to be at the low end and at the high end and everything in between. And so we started Jordan so that my daughter would have somewhere to work. When she first got diagnosed, are you hearing me okay? Okay. Okay. So when Jordan first got diagnosed, and there's lots of books about autism, lots of books about disability. I know someone who's written a good book. And I should tell you, I should have told you at first. So Marsh and I know each other. Marsh is a very special person. And thank you, Marsh, for putting together this program today. So Marsh and I met. She brought Kellan to Jordan's Grab and Go. I didn't know Marsh and I didn't know Kellan, but we were having, my son wanted to do like a little birthday party for Jordan. So we just did come on in and get a cupcake. So Marsh brought Kellan in to say happy birthday to Jordan. And so we've been friends ever since. But anyway, with a child like Jordan and his parent, you don't know how that functioning is going to go. So Jordy got diagnosed. She was almost 4 years old before she actually got diagnosed with autism. I had taken her to several doctors because she wasn't talking. And back in those days, there wasn't a lot of information. The internet was in its infancy. So there just wasn't a lot of information out there like there is now. But anyway, we started Jordan so that she could have somewhere to work at. And we try to hire, it's not just for Jordan. So, some way along the way, I guess, when I was trying to figure out how I was going to have 2 full-time jobs, because I'm an attorney here in town, as I already said, and then we've got Jordan's. And so I help out at Jordan's too. We hire folks with disabilities. We are 100% self-funded. So I know that there's other programs that can help children get jobs. If you have a special needs child and they need somewhere to work at, please tell them to come and see us, because we are very low on employment right now. So just as a parent, I will tell you that it's just an awesome responsibility to plan for someone else's life. And so Jordan, when she was younger, we didn't exactly know how high her functioning would be with autism. There's some folks with autism that have PhDs and normal lives and, need varying amounts of support. There's other folks with autism that are in facilities, and there's literally everything in between. And so as a parent, you don't know what that functioning is going to be. But I will tell you that what I did with my daughter is I tried a little bit of everything. And I think with autism especially, there have been so many things through the years that were touted as miracle cures and things that were going to help, this supplement or that supplement. And we did try all of that. At some point, it became apparent that Jordan would need some assistance the rest of her life. And there's different levels of assistance. And I'll jump around a little bit here, just because, again, Penny told you the base what a conservatorship is, and she also talked about powers of attorney. So as a parent, once your child turns 18, no matter how disabled they are, they've got your authority as a parent ends at 18. So a lot of us, with Jordan, I had to go get a conservatorship. I was able to do it myself, so that was helpful. But what a conservatorship is you go to court and file a petition, and you're having the court remove your child's legal capacity, your child's decision-making authority. In Tennessee, you can have a conservatorship over the person, over the estate, or both. So a conservatorship over the person allows you to make that person's healthcare decisions, and it can be tailored individually. Conservatorship over the estate is managing somebody's money. And so it's just a process, as Penny said, that you go to court. It's not very complicated. You have to file a petition. If you're a family member, can serve as somebody's conservator. It waives the appointment of what's called a guardian ad litem. A guardian ad litem is appointed by the court. That's a friend of the court that will represent someone's best interests. And so that's generally waivable under most conservatorship proceedings if it is a family member. If it's a non-family member, and I will tell you that will sometimes happen. So the awesome responsibility of having a special needs child is that you're planning for someone else's entire life. And so, there's a financial aspect, there's a legal aspect, and there's the parenting aspect. And we learn every day. Jordan teaches me every day, and I try my best to teach her because we're always working on Jordan's verbalizations. Some of you, I don't know if anybody in here has been around, I don't see too many people from the school system, but everybody used to know Jordan once upon a time because she had a helper in school. So with autism, the best way to teach an autistic child is always one-on-one. And, Jordan had limited verbal abilities. But the last couple of years have really been amazing. Jordan's picked up a lot of new words. My husband retired from the Navy in 2013. And so at 2013, he became the main support person at home, and he talks to her all the time. So she's learned a lot of verbalizations. I know that when Jordan was in school, they had told us that she'd probably wouldn't develop any more language skills. They thought she had maxed out, and that was incorrect. So as a special needs mom, if you're a mom or a dad out there, I always encourage folks to work on those verbalizations because language skills are ongoing. Jordan picks up new words pretty much on a daily basis. We've used picture exchange communication system, the PEC system. I don't know if anybody else has done that, but that will definitely that helped us build verbal skills for Jordan. The other thing that Penny didn't get into too much is trust. So on the financial planning, one of the most awesome responsibilities you have as a parent is how you're going to fund your child's life after you die. So what we do as attorneys, it's called a special needs trust. And there's some interesting things about a special needs trust. A trust is basically a legal fiction of ownership. So you can own something individually, or you can have a trust own it. The way a special needs trust works is that any assets that you want to have for your child after you pass away get held by the trust. The reason it's important for a special needs trust is the trust has to be written in such a way that the ownership can't have the ownership. I know that a lot of you are going to know this, that you can't qualify for SSI benefits if you have more than $2,000. So, or any governmental benefits, but anyway, the trust will own the asset so that the person can qualify for Medicaid. But what we do often when folks come in to see me and we do estate planning, often what you'll find is there's sometimes a family member that themselves, if they're older and they're trying to qualify to get on Medicaid for nursing home purposes, that they can convey any assets that they have to the trust without a look back period. So I will tell you, I've probably had a handful of times through the years where someone has come to me, they've had, an amount of money and they've wanted to qualify for 10 care services, and you can actually start a special needs trust and convey that asset for the disabled individual. So it requires you to obviously to seek legal counsel, but we've got some smart lawyers in Dyer County. And so if anybody ever has any questions, I'm certainly happy to answer those for you. But again, a trust is just a way to own property. And so it's a written document. You don't have to go to court to start a trust. It's just a document that you would have that would serve as basically you could think about it almost like a little holding company, that it's set up, a trust is set up just to own an asset. Does anybody have any questions in general about trusts? And I glossed over conservatorships because Penny had talked about it real well. Anything generally about conservatorships? So the question was, the lady at this table has a special needs child. She has set up a guardianship and a conservatorship in another state. She's asking if that's recognized here in Tennessee. Yes, it is. We've got 50 states, so it's not unusual across state lines. So no, I don't think you would need to do anything unless you had to modify your conservatorship. That's a good question. Right. Anybody else have any questions? Again, I'm a special needs mom, so wear a lot of different hats. So I take Jordan camping. We started doing that a few years ago. And so part of camping, of what we've done for about 2 years now, is we take her to different theme parks. So back about 10 years ago, I don't know if any of you, has anybody ever taken a special needs child to a theme park? Do they like to wait in line? So Jordan absolutely positively hates waiting for anything. And so it used to be you could go to guest services at Disney or Universal Studios and sign up through them, and they would give you a little card where you wouldn't have to wait in lines. Basically, you go through the. So there's been a lot of abuse in that over the years. So there is it's the International Accrediting Board of. It's a ICES, I think is the acronym. But anyway, they've got this disability accessibility card. So it's a process that you have to go to in order to get concessions at a theme park. And they're all moving towards it. So Six Flags is the one that we're going to next week. And so what you need to do on that is register for your accessibility card. So if you just search disability accessibility card on Google, there's an application. It's all done online. You have to submit a letter from a doctor that says what type of supports are necessary, and it will help you through that. If you go to their website and register for this accessibility card, it's a checkbox that you go through and say, waiting in line. One of them is, can your child stand for 10 minutes? And so a lot of these theme parks, if not, they can have seating that's available. Six Flags has what's called a low sensory room. And so, taking a child to a theme park is always so much work for parents. And so they've got these little rooms now. You have to register when you get there, but you can go to a calming room. And so it's air conditioned. It's got fidget toys, lighting, music, things just to, for kids that need to get away and, just get a break from the theme park. But anyway, all of the theme parks, Universal just about a month ago indicated that they're now requiring their guests to register for this disability access card. So if you have any questions on it, you can call us at Jordan's. You can contact me. Our office is here in Dyersburg. And so if you have any questions at all on anything, on conservatorships, on special needs trusts, just anything at all, if you ever, so we try at Jordan's, we try to help. We sponsor different things through the community. And the spoiler alert is I'm an easy target if you ever need, gift cards for anything or any ideas that you have in the community to support special needs. The spoiler alert is we never say no. So if there's anything that we can do to help, certainly ask us. We're very, very happy to support any type of event like this in the community, because we just try to make the community a better place too. So thank you for allowing me to ramble, Marsh.